They'll be calling you a radical. I'm going to make 2 videos. One, Monterey Bay, Monterey Bay, Monterey Bay, Monterey Bay, the Pacific Genocide, the epic denial, Popism gone amok crazy. Hang with me if this falls off the tripod. You know, it's where the wind blows, it's where the water flows. I'm going to talk about Monterey, and then I'm going to put up another video about my trip to Europe, and I'm going to talk about the Great Mormon experiment gone amok, and I'll go full circle on this thing in this grand place. This is my home. This is where I grew up. But, so, Monterey Bay, Monterey Bay. Now the BBC, and I want you to read this article. Read my comments in there. The BBC, the insanity of PBS, Koch brothers PBS, how Popism gone amok, how the disconnection from the reality of the solid of the earth. Oh, Monterey, this great comeback thing. I want people to very much understand. Yeah, Monterey's made a comeback, and I'll talk about compared to what it was Steinbeck's land, I walked every square inch of it. I walked from Pismo, every square inch, all the way to San Francisco. I walked the entire Monterey Bay. And I want to talk about how insane this article is, and how it calls himself, and how the reality of Monterey Bay. That great gem, by the way, that's the Pacific Causeway over the Great Salt Lake. The great rail line, the greatest of rail lines. I can get into that. And I want people to understand literature, absolutely, this is literature. This is the most powerful genre in human history. I'm a writer, I'm an artist, I'm a poet. That's, you know, this is it. This is what a powerful genre that's been hijacked. Nobody uses it. I do. You know, when you're going to finish your book, Kev, this is my book, you know. So, Monterey Bay. I think there's a reason Stevenson, his greatest book, I believe, is The Old Pacific Capital. Why the way, and Steinbeck's Beautiful Place. Oh, how great is that? Listen to my whole life. I love it. You know, the great passenger train, the great Junction City. But I want to show you something. I was in the Monterey Library, and I have library cards from all over California. I said, you got a copy of The Old Pacific Capital? Now that's where he lived when he was young. And she says, oh yeah, there's a gold copy in here. Can I check it out? Yeah. Gone. That's what they do. People are thieves. So, Steinbeck, Cannery Row, what happened to all the sardines? They're in a can. By the way, since I've got cancer, I have been on every single pier from San Francisco to San Diego. I have not missed one. The last one, holy Capitola, as Donna Kuhn took me over there. Oh my God. Monterey Bay, I want to talk about the reality of Monterey and how disconnected and how full of shit these guys are. Right at the aquarium. Now you got to know the water flows in and out of the aquarium. They babysit for the tourists. The sills are very healthy right there because they're feeding them through the aquarium. They're babysitting the giant, incredible, you know which pelicans I'm talking about, the almost endangered rare ones. Like I said, if this falls off, hang with me, I'll pick it up. Oh, it's grand right there, spectacular. And it is. They should be very proud of the giant steps they've made. But let's be clear about all these piers. They're all the same. It's a drunken theme park. They all look exactly the same, these magnificent piers. You know, we got baby boomers disconnected from the earth. I'm at Pismo. I start my walk to Diablo Canyon, you know, with the monk. How emotional was he? I got to tell you how much I love him and how much he means to me. And how emotional that was, our walk to Diablo Canyon with Mothers for Peace. Linda's a gem. Jane, you want to talk to the incredible women that are still left in there? There's a few. So, I'm at Pismo. Dead birds all over, volleyball players. I said, hey, you're playing. Yeah, you very much. You know, America's so ignorant and so gone, it's pathetic. So, anyway, the walk. Monterey Bay, as up in Marine, is a gem. I did some really great work in here. I did the old Del Monte. That's the old rail line. It's still there. The ding, ding, ding is still there. The old Del Monte, as the whistle blows. These were Del Monte farms right here on the other side of that track. All Italian farmers brought here by Del Monte. And I'll get into this in the other video. But so I get up in the center of Monterey Bay. You can walk on the bike trail for about 15 miles, all the way through the dunes, whatever, the sand dunes, and then you get to the heart of the food basket, into the heart, Moss Landing, Castroville, Watsonville. It's Steinbeck on Balco. Steinbeck would cry. He would literally cry. It's so heartbreaking. You got the Mexican labor out there with things over there, and I talked to a lot of them. You know, I slept under the bridges with them. I broke bread with them. I ate with them. They're so hard, the most abused labor in the history of mankind. And I'm for real. I mean, I think it even trumps the antebellum South. I really do. It's brutal. It's hardcore. They're being sprayed and so poisoned. I had to walk like this for days. Slept under the bridges. That's the only time we got any rain. And it's hardcore. Watsonville, Castroville. Oh, an artisan writer could go crazy out there. Why they haven't is beyond me. Steinbeck on Balco. So you got an organic farm right here, and then organic and non-organic right here. 1 fence away, just spraying. They were doing strawberries when I was there 12 hours a day. White cloths over, just bombarded, sprayed. This goes on all day, every day. But, you know, I get a lot of great calls. But, so, it's hideous. It's horrible. So the bay hook's like this. It's a big, the only place I had to really get off the beach, I got there, the California Highway Patrol, because it's legal to walk on the one, which I did. Is you got to be crazy to do it, but, you know, through Gore Hall. You know, so as I'm coming along, I'm seeing the starving to death baby sea lions. I'm seeing, you know, arguing with different people. I'm seeing, talking to people, where's the grays? Where's the grays? No grays this year. Whale watchers. Been there for 40 years. No grays. I slept on me. The elephant seals. By the way, I got to say this. Oh, did cursed have it figured out. St. Simeon's still that beautiful little iconic gem. It's a little teeny town. That castle up there, but the elephant sea lions, I got to see them at the breeding. I was right there, you know, the fence, and the lion drunks lying to me. But it's something to take your breath away. But I got to see them where there isn't even a fence. I got to see, I got right next to mama sea lions, or elephant seals, as they were starving to death. I have video. The thing, I went places where, you know, incredible walk, you know, on the beach. There's nobody there. There's no internet. There's no cell phone. There's no nothing. Slept on the beach. Those girls that I met up there. Ooh, oh my God, what's amazing women. Wow, the only ones that I've still, there's a few left. So, it's hideous. Moss Landing's all but dead. That's the marshes, the swamp. There's no blue herons left there. There's no snowy egrets left there. There's nothing left there. It's hideous. It's a toxic hellhole. That's Monterey Bay. Hello! Hello! That's Monterey Bay. You think the aquarium is all of Monterey Bay? They're feeding them. Hey, the head aquarium. Woman, I walk in Monterey Bay with my backpack on. I'm tired, beat down. I slept on the beach at Carmel. You're not supposed to? Who says? Who says I'm not supposed to? You know, I could show you this video. That's Carmel. Oh my God, what a gem. Oh my God, above Carmel. You know, I slept on the beaches. I slept in the trees. I camped in the redwoods. Just me, you know, and then I met different people along the way. I walked every inch of it. The walk literally broke my heart. So then I get to Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz, you know, Donna picks me up and everything, because the Highway Patrol kicked me off the one. For a very good reason. It's not the one there no more. It's a, you know, the freeway going into Monterey. It's insane. You know, I walked up over the top, you know. I spent quite a few days in Monterey. That masterpiece, the old Pacific capital. And by the way, you know, the tree's still there, the plaque's still there when the Spaniards handed over to the Mexicans. The custom house, you know, the Mexicans, when they had California, was that they knew, and this comes full circle because my grandfather is the Mormon Italian guy. That's him. He was walked up. He's the guy that was with the group that found the Golden Suitors Mill right there as it flipped over in 1848. That's just right there, the exact same time. The old Pacific, the custom house, they used tariffs. Hello, they got it. You know, the usury complex. So Monterey Bay is a cultural theme. It's not even culture. That's it. They've even stripped the culture out of it. And by the way, you think Columbus was the first one here. They know the Chinese were in Monterey Bay 100 years at least before. At least. It's well documented. The old Pacific capital. Oh, he wrote it right there. Steinbeck's land. Oh, Cannery Row is destroyed. You know, it's a cultural drunken theme park. The aquarium's awesome. You know, and they say so in the little museum there's grand. You know, but so you walk and then you have to get kicked off. So, but in Castroville, you know, Marina's a gem, by the way. Marina's a little gem. You know, as an artist, I spent some time there. Wow, 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 wow. You know, Steinbeck on Balco. So the abuse that's going to the Mexican immigrant labor, it's just like, oh, LA, we raised the minimum wage to $15. So what? Doesn't matter if you raise it at $100 because you're still not policing. It's not the exploited, it's the exploiter. Right here, the construction industry, the hotel industry, they're paying cash. That's again, the IRS could clean this up anytime like that. I was a plasterer in this town for freaking all those years. Learned from the San Diegan, you know, made bar tile right in the earth. Learned from the old San Diegan. The last San Diegan, as she calls me, as I fight in San Onofre. That's what she calls me, the old 95-year-old beautiful activist that gave me the shirt, that shirt. She gave me that shirt. That shirt's going to a museum one day. She calls me, Kevin, you're the last San Diegan. We used to go back for, this is where I grew up. This is my home. I used to stick my thumb out on freaking in San Diego, up to Carlsbad. Lori and I did that beautiful, beautiful work at St. Michael's in Carlsbad. There was nothing there. You know, we did that, Lori and I, that great artist that she is, that incredible, Lori Still, her and I did that. That's a masterpiece piece. Wow. The work that we did in La Jolla. But you'd hitchhike, you know, Raquel Welch from La Jolla, all those girls from La Jolla, San Diego. The females there, they were the greatest females. Unbelievable, spectacular, incredible. Stick my thumb out there. Wow. Back and forth. It breaks my heart now. I've been on every single pier. You can't tell one from the other. You know, I did my videos walking from the library at Pacific Beach to Oceanside, document which one's really closer to the ocean. They're overwhelmed by the homeless. They're freaking out. You know, these, the new Florida, come to San Diego, kick the baby wolves off the street that were born and raised there. How are you going to pay $3,000 a month in rent serving coffee because there is no job? What's the tariff house? What's the custom house at Monterey Bay? You know, it's amazing how, you know, we raise the limit, yet we'll let people still pay cash. Weekend and now, we got a Mexican mowing our lawn. We got these brown people were exploiting the living bejesus out. By the way, they're the only ones that treated me worth any kind of respect were the Mexican immigrant workers and the Mexicans. They treated me so beautiful. I slept under the bridge with them. 12 hours a day, being sprayed, being paid shit, nothing. It's the most exploited people in the history of humanity. It's disgusting. So, yeah, we raise it to 50, but these guys are still construction, pay cash. You know, big companies, hotels, pay cash. Restaurants, pay cash. The IRS, but these serfdom, we need to do that. They life it just the way it is because that you think you're in the club. Academia is hijacked. So this woman comes up in Monterey Bay. Kevin Blanch. She's worked there. She's an old biologist. Comes up, beautiful. She says, I want to talk to you. The Grace. They're giving birth at Carmel. We're out there. We take track of them. So this other woman comes to me. You know, I'm at the grocery store. We start talking. Kevin Blanch. Yeah. She says, oh, we have beautiful tide pools here. Okay. No, you don't. I've walked them. They're all bleached out. Oh, I was just over there. We have sea anemones, everything all over them. I says, okay, show me. When's the last time? Oh, it's been a year. I said, no, you haven't. You haven't been over there in over a year. By the way, there's a red-winged blackbird. I love those things. They've made it come back here a little bit. So, I said, let's go. Let's go. Out there at Elkhorn. It's destroyed. It's annihilated at Elkhorn. All of them are freaking destroyed. The famous tide pools, I put up videos at Carmel. They're famous at Carmel. They're bleached out. I never seen one starfish in 300 miles walking, looking at 10,000. Starving to death mama sea lions. Starving to death there. You know, playing the little echelons dead. And then I told you, as I'm walking along Pacifica, you know, I go up to that area between there, Santa Cruz up above. I'm like, you can smell death. The only sea lions, just healthy sea lions you see are underneath the pier at Santa Cruz. Because there's restaurants right there and they dump it. They're up there eating fucking people food. That's the only survival. They're feeding them at Monterey Bay. You know, yeah, they've captured the ecosystem and the water flows in. I asked the old thing, she says, you know, the main boss, I says, what's the water temperature supposed to be? 56 degrees. What is it? 56 degrees. I said, what about this plume? Bullshit. He says, yeah, that's what I say. You know, the heat, the El Nino, the freaking, you know, the big, out at Bixby Bridge, those multi-hundred-year-old giant ponderosa pines. You know what I'm talking about out there. Do you know they're all dead? They're all dead. Not dying, dead. The emperor has no fucking clothes. So you get above Parama, you get to Santa Cruz, you get above, you could smell death. You could smell, by the way, the homeless that are living in there, and by the way, it's not safe. You know, I met ex-cons that were living in the woods, you know, right there, and there's women living in the woods. It's an insane deal. I mean, the public library is overwhelmed. So, I mean, because what's a tariff house at Monterey Bay, the old Pacific capital? Monterey Bay, let's get real, you lying fucks. You want to talk about around the aquarium, as that is well managed, and I love what they've done. Do not kid me, so California's done some amazing. They've kicked the dog walkers out, belong in the national parks along the one. They kicked the dog walkers out. They're gone. You have to have a GPS device on some of you to even get in there. They've sealed it off. They got everything out of there. Finally, thank goodness. They've done a lot of great work. But the whale's not making it to Mexico, giving birth. at Carmel. And now, I mean, the wells are washing ashore. 6 wells on the California. I could smell death. And I told you guys, I said I could smell death the whole way through. Sorry about that. Stay with me. Let's see. My poor camera. Yeah, these things are tough. Sony's. You know, so that's my backpack that I used. So to say that Monterey Bay and the BBC and the PBS, that this is some kind of the mighty Ben Lomond. Wow. You know, this is my home. This is where I grew up right here. You know, 6th, 7th generation. Danish bloodlines. I'll talk about that in my next video. But yeah, Popism has gone insane. I want you to read this article. Look at my comments. You comment. You know, it's bullshit. The emperor has no fucking clothes. It's bullshit. The Pacific Genocide's very real. It's a catastrophe from hell. What's Fukushima? Let's come out of denial. Wow. Stay tuned. Steinbeck on Balco. The molded grapes of wrath.